Dr. Ross dropping knowledge to the masses. Man, you now tuned in to purpose and practice. Yeah, purpose and practice. Keep your mental sharp, learn all the tactics. Dr. Ross dropping knowledge to the masses. Man, you now tuned in to purpose and practice. Yeah, purpose and practice. Podcast game, he got it mastered. Sign call. It's a 9-core banger. Dr. Ross.
Peace to the community, purpose and practice community. We are live. We're back. It's another Thursday, so it's another episode. And we are at episode, can you believe it? Episode number 25. Episode number 25 of the podcast, which is like crazy, thinking how we came from episode 1 back in the beginning of August. With yours truly, Mr. Encore, who you just heard, matter of fact, on the intro. And now we're here at 25. And what I just wanted to take a moment to do is, salute all of you who have supported the podcast, who've commented, who've watched. The views are crazy. The following on YouTube is crazy. We really appreciate it. The community really needs it, and the community really appreciates it. So please continue. Now, with that said, we are ending season 1. So today's episode is going to be the final episode of our first season. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to be back to you in the middle of January. And I will be dropping the dates in terms of the first show that we're going to hit y'all off with in the middle of January. But in between that, I'm starting up a series where we're going to be doing some talks. We're going to be talking, we're going to use like documentaries. The first one actually is next week. We're doing a talk. I'm going to do some talk with some brothers and sisters of mine. You've probably seen the promo already. After this show today, I'm going to just drop a short promo about what that's about. So you can expect those talks kind of in between seasons 1 and 2 before we start season 2, just to kind of keep, current and keep everybody fresh and listening. So with that said, this is a perfect way to end season 1. Like, I got, my family, here today. My little big cousin, with me today, who is wild because we've been trying to connect on this episode for probably the last month or so, or maybe a little over a month. And we finally, were able to nail down a date, and today is that day. And I get a chance to interview somebody, who I'm very proud of. Man, I babysat this boy. Like, is that's how serious it is. My little cousin, Terry Hicks. Shout out, to my aunt Debbie, who, when I was coming up, like, his mom held it down for us, and she was that cool aunt who was close to us in age, and we always wanted to be, up under her and, around her. And, to this day, it's a blessing, to have Aunt Deb as an aunt. And with that said, man, welcome to the show, cuz. Like, how you feeling, bro?
I'm great, man. I'm good. Living, staying healthy, man. Staying COVID free. So I'm good.
That's what's up. Word. Like, that's important right now. Like, that's real important right now. How old are you, fam? How old are you now? Like, I usually don't ask guests what their age is, but how old are you?
I'm 31, man.
31.
Yeah.
So, I'm just thinking back, I'm 45, right? So I'm just thinking back to like babysitting you, like watching you, and I'm like, dude is 31 now, and I got a few little cousins running around that aren't little anymore. But it's just wild, to see you. And I was like, people need to hear your story, and that's why, I reached out, and I was like, this is a perfect way. It's around that time, holiday season, time for family. It's a great way to wrap up everything and enter the holiday season. So with that said, bro, talk to me. We're going to start. Here's how we're going to shout out to Cousin Sport tuned in. Yo, the other Terry. So yeah, it's a few of them. It's a few of them in there, you know. Yo, let's start off, Terry. You know, one of the things I like to do on the show is kind of go back and talk about growing up, what growing up was like, you know, and then sharing with us some of the stories of you growing up, what school was like, what your experiences were like. So if you don't mind, we would love to start there. If you could start taking us back, man, and explaining what growing up was like.
Uh, First off, I'm from Neptune, New Jersey. Village kid, you know what I mean?
Ooh,
Where the name of my apartments where I grew up at. Where I first learned, you know, anything about basketball, sports, period. You know what I mean? Uh, can go back to neighborhood guys coming up. Uh, Mike Turner, Calderones, just
wow.
if you're from
Yeah.
the area, you know those names.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guys, you know, who just, you know, I watched, grew up, you know, they playing on the blacktop. I was a little kid. So, you know, I always been fascinated about basketball ever since, you know, I could remember. My pops, my mom's had the basketball in my hands ever since I could remember. But, you know, those are the people. I wasn't really big on like, you know, coming up college wasn't really like something that we, you know, me, at least me as a kid, like I saw,
Uh-huh.
you know what I mean? It was either high school, you know, coming from Neptune, we had a real solid basketball history.
True.
That a lot of people don't really understand, man. And it's kind of crazy.
Mhm.
But you know, we got a lot of dudes, you know, that came out, you know, and I'm real big on basketball history from where I'm from. My uncle, you know, Ray Williams, Terry Williams,
Sure.
you know, he was you know, in his day, he was definitely one, you know, a basketball guy who
Yes.
to be reckoned with, you know. So I heard stories about him coming up and then sitting around, you know, he was my favorite uncle to grow up with. So, you know, I would sit around with him and go to the parks. He would take me to the parks and we'll play. And, you know, I remember, you know, coming up in Ridge Avenue playing bitty basketball
Mm,
after
mm.
my game, and I'll go outside and he's outside playing with my cousins, you know, other guys from the neighborhood.
True.
They had this rule where I couldn't go in the paint, you know, so I could only play defense outside of the paint. So, you know, it was something that, you know, I grew up having to play against older guys, and, you know, I just grew a love for the game. You know, and I got my shot, you know, middle school basketball. It's crazy. I'm fast forward to sixth grade year. You know, I played rec
Uh-huh.
and bitty
Uh-huh.
basketball, which was competitive, man. Shouts out to Kevin Owens, man.
Yeah, man. A lot of history there, yo.
Yeah,
Like he was behind a lot of I know Taekwon, he was heavy behind.
and
Yo, so definitely shout out there.
way above it, way ahead of his time. KO is
Yes.
one of my mentors now. Nothing but love for KO. That's my dude
True.
for sure. But he was one who organized, man. He just had everything organized. You know, me and him,
Mhm.
you know, are childhood friends, and we were around the same age. So, you know, he wanted things for his kids, but he organized for the community.
True.
You know, just got everybody involved. My step pops, Joe, he taught me a lot. You know, from like third grade.
Yo, hold on. Stop right there.
So,
So it's crazy you mentioned Joe, right? Now, football was really my thing growing up, right? But I met Joe in basketball, and it was even before it was a connection between your mom and him. Like we
okay.
was playing over in a park, and we would play like historically it was a park. Oh, I don't know if it was 80 acres. It may have been 80 acres, but we would play over there, and he would always call me Skills. And that was, and then finally, when it all came together, and our dad introduced me to him, he was like, "Oh, that's Skills." Like I know, you know, like, but it was based on ball, and you know how it is when you go to different communities and you play in different communities. You know, sometimes you know it can kind of get heated in different communities playing blacktop. You know, like, but it was always love. It was always love. So it was cool how that all came together when one time, you know, when your mom first introduced us, and he was like, "Oh, I know him, I know Skills," you know. So definitely shout out to Joe, man. I'm sorry, I had to like to
Nah,
get in there real quick because yo, props to Joe.
it's crazy because anybody that knows Jay, man, they all have the same reaction anytime that I
Mhm.
tell them, you know, I speak of his name, man. They always give me a story about, you know, a time that they had with him, man. He's definitely somebody that's vital to me. You know, I keep him
True.
the best. But yeah, like I said, he was, you know, from like third grade, man. He took me for a ride. And he had a cougar, a maroon cougar, man, back in the day. I'll never forget it. You know what I mean? And, you know, anybody that knows Joe, alpha male, to say the least. So, the conversation wasn't aggressive, but it wasn't passive either. But he was Jay basically just asking me, man, and he made me make a decision. I was like 8 or 9. And he was like, man, what you gonna do? You know what I mean? And it's like, you want to play basketball? And I was a multi-sport kid, so I played baseball. I was really talented. I had a great coach in Glenn Ford. Shouts out to Glenn Ford. Senior was my dude, man. You know what I mean? He's real good, was a major influence. Chris Mayo, big influence on me. Football, baseball, man. Chris Mayo is one of the greatest coaches I probably ever had. Just his dedication and his craft and what he was doing. But I was all over the place, and as a 9-year-old, you having fun, but he didn't make me choose, but he kind of made me kind of focus. You know what I mean? Kind of focused on where your head was at, what you want to do. You know what I mean? What you really want to do. You're okay. And then a lot of things, but you got to really, if you want to be good at something, you got to focus on it. So, I chose basketball, 11 years old. I met this guy named Dave Johnson, Senior. He was the Asbury varsity coach.
Yes.
Yep. Like I said, shout out to KO, because I actually got note about the tryout from Kevin Owens. Told my moms, my peoples about it. Went to the tryout, and man, it was literally the hardest practice I ever had in my life. I think I was seeing stars.
Was it at Neptune High?
Nah, we was in Asbury Park, man.
I mean, Asbury High, I meant. Not Neptune.
Boys and Girls Club, man.
Oh, the old school Boys and Girls Club.
Yes, we were there.
Wow.
And it was just, I remember seeing stars. It was just the hardest practice. And I was locked ever since that day. And fortunately enough, his son, Dave Johnson Jr., my best friend to this day, we ended up locking in, and we were tight from day one. And, 11 years old, I joined Jersey Shore Lightning, and it just took me on a different path. I came up in regular school system, public school system, elementary. I even went to Neptune Middle School, did my senior year. I mean, my 6th grade year there. Funny thing is, I didn't even go out for the team. My 6th grade year, I was shy. I was a young kid. I didn't think I was gonna make it. They didn't have a 6th grade team. It was only 7th, 8th graders. I knew all the older kids. You know what I mean? I thought they were gonna make it. And I never forget riding home with Joe. And I said it. I'm talking to my mom, and I just said it like, I ain't going out for the team. But I didn't even go. We had tryouts. I didn't go. And he damn near, passed the car. I'm like, what? You ain't try out? What you mean you ain't try out? And I'm like, I didn't think I was gonna make it. And that was kind of the first time I'm like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I should have tried out. So he ended up coaching our rec team, and we ended up it's actually more beneficial for me to play for him than it probably was to play, for my self-esteem wise, just on as a player. Like, it was probably better for me to be under him a little bit more. You know what I mean?
He nurtured you.
Development purpose. He knew I was my agent. Anyone that knows me outside of, the Shore and the Asbury area, they know him as my agent. You want to talk to me, get me to come play anywhere, you got to go through him. You got to him. He's easy to find in the gym. You know what I mean? That was, but that ended up being my, and that team was really good, man. We actually did really well my 6th grade year, but it just gave me the confidence to keep working and moving forward. So like I said, we ended up 11 years old, joined Jersey Shore Lightning, and like I said, that's when my life as a basketball player kind of really changed.
So at 11. So at 11, so that was AAU, was the Lightning team an AAU team?
Yeah. Okay. It was my first time, like, really being exposed to, like, you play, like I said, I play rec, so you play the kids around, played little teams here and there. But the Jersey Shore Lightning was my first taste of, like, the high level basketball.
Yeah. It was you just dropped, and this is what I love. Like, I love sports, right? And I love short conference. And some of the names you just rattled off, like salute, because a lot of heads sometimes come up. Not all, I won't say a lot because I don't want to generalize, but sometimes we come up as young athletes and we don't get in tune with the history of the sport in our community. And I like that you said that, man, because and you drop those names, like, because those youth coaches, those coaches who've coached us up like along the way, that's important work, man.
Hey,
You
they
know,
support. I'm not the person the coach I am without those people. I name it. There's more
true,
people that I haven't even named from
true.
athletic standpoint, from a playing standpoint. Influences Taekwon
Hmm.
excuse me, Terrence Todd, Rob Layton.
Yeah,
Man, I can go on Farron McGee. I can
yeah,
go on
yeah.
days. Man,
Those, yeah, those cats,
I
like,
want to make sure I tap in with
yeah,
everybody. You know,
yeah,
what's the local guy I see all the time? Forgive me for even not remembering his name. Raheem.
yeah.
Uh,
Right here, Carter. True. Yep, yep.
Raheem Carter, bad man on the
Hmm.
basketball court. But
Hmm.
all these dudes, I grew up. I used to go. Again, shout out to Joe. He used to play in men's league, so I used to go to his games.
Yeah,
Like I said, I've
watch
always
him
been
play.
a fan of like I said, basketball. I remember me and Dave as like a seventh grader. I transferred to Catholic school, so my mom moved me out of Neptune as a
Was
six.
it Holy Innocents? Did you go to Holy Innocents? Where'd you
Nah,
go
it
to?
was actually St. Mary's. St. Mary's
St. Mary's. Okay. All
was
right.
a big deal. Coach Johnson had got a coaching job over there, and
All
Dave
right.
there. He asked my mom if I would like to
Mm-hmm.
go. She wanted me to go. Better education. Then
Mm-hmm.
I was tied into my development as a basketball player, and so
True.
was my mom. My mom was dedicated from day one to that. Shout out to her.
Yes.
She
Yes.
made anything and everything happen when it came down to me playing sports, especially basketball. She would, it ain't getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta hit the road.
Mm-hmm.
So that type of deal. So shouts out to her for that. But we believed in Coach Johnson. That's one thing.
Wow.
And I try to tell parents now when I talk to them, you got to believe in somebody. You can't go around,
Yeah.
jumping around, the coach, team to team. Yeah, that might be, you
Mm-hmm.
can see it as a win, but it's really not, because you're not showing your kid the right thing.
True.
You got to believe in somebody and let them put the work in. And that's what we did with Coach Johnson.
Yeah, I remember Senior Johnson Senior. Like that's a name in Asbury that just rings out.
He don't get enough love, man. He don't get enough
True.
love.
I A lot of them don't. A lot of the folks you just mentioned don't. Like you rattled off some names, fam, that a lot of them don't get the love that they deserve. And that's why, the last couple of weeks I've been having like a lot like youth coaches, people who are connected to youth development, because that is so important. And a lot of these people do it without being paid. Like it's straight like volunteer work that they're putting into the community.
Man, listen, talk about not getting paid. It's like I said, we'll get into it as
Mhm.
long, but it's like I said, it's youth is everything, man. I'm big on it, especially the development of young African American
Yes.
males. Like,
Yes.
we are dangerous when we are fed the right things, and
Yo,
I've been
without
fortunate to see and have certain people in my circle to kind of guide me and open my eyes to that, educators, who,
word.
I sit down with, and they just, school me on certain things, but from an angle where I can relate to them and I can understand,
Mhm.
I can see the bigger picture. A lot of these kids don't see the bigger picture, and that's the
True.
problem, but
True.
uh,
So Terry, man, you blessed us with some jewels. You dropped some jewels. So
so,
check this. Like, all right, talked about the athletic thing. Let's get to the student. Like, what kind of student were you? And let's start with, when did school, or if you begin to see a connection between school and then your athletic piece, like when did that click?
to be honest with you, to be real with you, because I wasn't the greatest student through
Hmm.
high school and elementary, though
Yeah.
I did well, did my work and everything like
Hmm.
that. But I would say I was like many others. Um, I mean, it was school, man. It was boring. You was there. Majority of us was there to, interact with each other.
Hmm.
That's the main source of interaction with your peers is in school.
True.
And if
True.
you happen to play a sport and you were pretty good at it, it benefited you. So it was like, all right, cool. I like being at school, but I wouldn't say there for the wrong reasons. I understood certain things, but I mean, I would say school really hit me. It was in college, man. I was a
Okay.
better student in college just because of the things we were learning made more sense to me. Like some
Uh-huh.
things we learned in high school, man, I don't use to this day. Like, why was I learning that? Like, y'all quizzing me and giving me bad grades and get me in trouble, taking the things that could really change my life. I can't go to practice because I didn't
Yo.
pass the test or whatever the case may be. But those are hours that you're taking away from my craft, something that I'm
Mm,
trying to be good at.
mm.
Because for something that I'm and I don't want to preach the wrong message, but it was just
Uh-huh.
something you may not use. I just feel like, they kind of, we should be in programs to where we could focus on something that we really want to do in school, man, and it really draw our attention because that's when you get the best out of us. And when I got to college and I was able to focus my education on things that I knew that, going forward, it would pay off for me and, really concentrate on my studies and, what I wanted to do in life besides basketball, it worked out better because it was more of a purpose. I knew I had to write this paper, or I had to get this grade so I can get this diploma so I can go get a job, or I can have this back. You know what I mean? I need my
It
diploma. It was a
it
little
me
bit
yeah,
motivation, I'll say.
yeah.
I can say that. It was
And
a little bit different motivation.
I think the last part you said is important, the motivation part. But even when you said like, yo, I don't mean to be talking down on education, but a lot of what this show is about purpose and practice is ultimately what I want to do is make sure that because I'm an educator, and you're right, we have to do a better job as educators in terms of creating coursework and school experiences that are can be adapted to real life experiences, right? So sometimes you're learning these things in isolation and it doesn't make a lot of sense to you. And you're
Right,
like, why?
right,
And
right.
so many people this is your guest number 25, and this has come up time and time and time again in terms of make it more meaningful, make my high school experience more meaningful, where I'm learning things about like practical things that can help me in my everyday life. You know what I'm saying? Like, so don't think that that's not important what you said, in the motivation piece, because I think when that happens you become more motivated,
For sure.
like you
Yeah,
become more motivated. So I'm happy that you mentioned that, because real talk, that's important. And I'm happy also that you were honest about, look, I wasn't always a great student. Like, like I wasn't.
listen, I got it done at the end of the day. That's what I tell him. And and like I said, I'm not proud of that. You know what I mean? I got better as I got older. So I started understanding. And like I said, what was being taught to me started, knocking
Mhm.
at it just a little bit more. So it just, made me want to do better. Um, but yeah, academically wise, that's definitely
Bro,
my
I
story.
was the same, Terry. I
Yeah.
was the same. I wasn't a great until I got to college. I wasn't a great student. So you you're not the first.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be the last, man. You're not gonna be the last.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, but one thing that you did do, and I think is important to note, is that you did what you had to do academically to stay eligible for sports.
Yeah.
Okay. Like
Yeah.
that's important. And also to eventually be able to enter college. And I don't want to jump too far ahead. But I know you had an interesting path, and I would like for you to share some of your thoughts on this. And it's funny because I remember when you transferred, because you had a situation in high school where I know you were between private school and then you were between public school, right?
Yeah.
And I remember, it's funny because I remember that whole that transition and the things that were going back and forth, and whether you wanted to be at Neptune, you know what I'm saying? So talk a little about that experience in terms of your high school experience, and going between public and then private or private and public.
So, like I said, just to pick up where I left off on schooling, was at St. Mary's. I did my middle school years there, my seventh and eighth grade year. Actually reclassified when I went to,
Okay.
when I, pardon me, I'm lying. I went to St. I graduated from St. Mary. I reclassified when I went to Lakewood Prep. So after
Okay.
St. Mary's, we went with Coach Johnson. He got another head coaching job at Lakewood Prep.
Okay.
Small private school,
Hmm. Remember that. Yep.
kind of similar to St. Mary's. So I redid my eighth grade year there. So
Okay.
I was a little younger when
Hmm.
class I was in. I was like the youngest. So my mom held me back, which was good for me academically as well.
Yeah.
It helped me out there as well. Held me back. I redid my 8th grade year there. So I played another middle school year there, and then I played my freshman year there for Coach Johnson. And it was different. Like I said, our schedule, it wasn't the short conference. It didn't get the same respect as the short conference, which, kind of dimmed what we did as a team and personally, what we did.
True.
It wasn't really accepted in a sense. We had a lot of people saying, oh, we don't play anybody, this, that, and the third. My freshman year. So my sophomore year, we amped it up. So we probably had one of the hardest
area
for sure. We played every team. We played the Patrick School, which is St.
I was going to say, y'all played those big, I remember that. Yep.
We took our lumps and our bumps, but it was to show that, as a group, man, we were, to me, if you ask me around that time, we were the best 1-2 punch around there. People can argue it. Me battle tested, and that's real. Like, we done went everywhere and played. Everybody knows us. Outside of, I would say, the area where we live, which is it blows my mind still to this day. Outside the area where we lived at, everyone looked at us. They respected us a little bit more.
True.
It was only the area where we were where
it was like disrespect.
We looking around like, yo, dude, we just played the number one player in the country and we lost by 2. And we both had 25.
And
it's like, our guy, he has Notre Dame and all these guys showing up to practice. And it's like it just blew our mind, but we didn't play for that. But it was just that was it. So I've always battled that, you know what I mean? So like I said, sophomore year we played, took our lumps and our bumps, but we played well. I played well. But it was a level that we were used to playing. Played that way on the AAU circuit. We had an AAU team in the state at one time. So we were used to winning and used to playing at that level. Junior year, same thing, schedule-wise. We playing the teams that we need to play. We actually started playing more short teams. We ended up getting a game with, I think it was Brick Memorial at the time. They were pretty good. And we got a game with those guys. And we played them. They were, they were good. I think we ended up losing for whatever reason. But it was a simple fact. Like, we finally got to play. We played Durant. This is when Durant even what they are today. Played the academies, the Lawrenceville Preps. Played everybody, man. Everybody who wanted to play us, we played them. We didn't run from anybody. We didn't duck anybody. We played them. And we were, some guys didn't want to play us. They'll tell you they didn't want to see us because we were, to be honest with you, we were awkward. We had a 7-footer who was pretty good. He ended up going to NJIT. PJ Mills was pretty good. And then we had a guy named Kyle Flannery who was pretty good. Ended up going to Division II school. And then it was, me and Dave.
You went,
guys too, but we had maybe 4 out of the team. We had four guys that really play basketball. Other guys,
legit,
other guys were fillers. They came and played, but they played hard. They were good. Majority of us are still friends to this day. But that just is what it was. We're going against St. Anthony's. They got 10 other guys. They're all gone. Division I.
True.
We gotta, go out here and play against these guys. And shouts out to Coach Dave too, because he used to give us some motivational speeches that have you thinking like, yeah, we about to go.
We got this.
Get it in. I don't care who they got. Coach, we going. This is what we got to game plan. Let's go do it. We'll get out there. The first 5 minutes, we giving it to them, and then after a while, they ended up wearing us down. But we always play hard, man. So my senior year. We kind of liquid prep situation kind of fell through. Guys kind of went their separate ways, and I'm a Neptune guy, man. I grew up on I'm a Neptune dude at heart. I always bleed red and black, no matter where I go, what I do. So I always wanted to play for Neptune. I grew up watching, like I said, Taekwondo, the Farron McGee's, the Rob Laytons, the Rafi Whites. I can go on for days about Neptune history basketball like that. I don't even want to get started, but I grew up watching that. My dad used to take me to those games. That was something that we did as kids. I met up with all my friends. We go to the Jubilee. That was
yes.
You know, it's still like it's nothing like
Yo,
that. I mean, now
nothing like that. Or day after Christmas, like everybody ready. Like,
you didn't want to
yeah,
play in that. You
yeah,
like I had to play in that. Like I
yeah,
not playing that. You know, so I made the decision. It was a tough one. I fought. I ain't gonna lie. I fought, and I
remember
fought.
that.
I fought my mom. I fought
Remember
my
that.
stepmom. I fought people calling me, telling me I went on they took me to every school, I think, in Jersey to work out. I worked out for St. Benedict's. I worked
Wow.
out probably, like I said, every school who was that top school around the area.
Yeah.
My AAU coach at the time, Rob Ingerman, took me. We got in the car every weekend. My mom made me go get in the car. We going. We go talk to coaches, and it was, like I said, St. Benedict's was the spot. I loved it. I liked it a lot. Until I found out it was an all boys school, man. That broke me.
Yeah, what that? Yeah.
Man, I couldn't do it. I could not do it.
Hold up, St. Benedict's is that Hurley? Was that what Hurley was?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I never spoke to me. Me and him never had conversations, but I worked out for him. It was around the time Samardo Samuels was there.
Okay. Yes.
He ended up going to Louisville and going off to play in the NBA. I think he's playing now, playing pro. But he was there. He was like the dominant force they had, and they had some other guys too. But we had a great workout. It was fun. I loved it. I did well. Like I said, I did really well. But I remember he told me in the ride home, like we're driving back, and I'm like, I'm excited. I don't even think I talked to my mom yet, and he told me, and he was like, and I was like, all right, cool. It was like an all boys school. I'm like, nah, I can't.
You wasn't feeling that.
It was annoying. You know what I mean? It was like,
yeah. Yep.
It was like I had to get on the train every day. It was just like and it was like, wow, I'm gonna take the train past the school that I really want to go to. To
get there an hour away.
Yeah, all my friends was there. Like literally everybody on the team I grew up with. You know what I mean? I knew we hung out outside of basketball, so it was an easy transition for me. So I fought till I got what I want. Mom finally, let me go. And it was, it was what it was. We were good. We won the short conference that year.
Mm-hmm.
I was all sure. It was a great experience, man. Neptune was wild. It was fun.
Bro, and it's funny because definitely shout out to the parents out there. And because these are serious decisions that you make for educational purposes, you make for sports purposes. It's like a package decision, and they're not easy decisions.
Mm-mm.
And then at the end of the day, you got the student athlete who, they have there's a place they want to be, so you wanted to be in Neptune. And I have to say this, and this is just me being selfish, but I'm so happy that you ended up in Neptune because I was able to be in the gym when you scored your 1,000th point. And that may not have happened if you were playing somewhere else.
People don't understand how ill that moment was for me. They don't know the retrospect behind all of that. It was just half my family's from Long Branch.
Yeah.
They don't understand. I don't think many people know that me and you were related until this podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I have a ton of family that, that live in Long Branch. So to be able to, do it, you have to say you I remember everybody was in the gym. Remember it was just just still to me that I could do that there, and just the fashion that was done in, and then y'all all got to see that. And that was part of the reason, when I was of my plea to my mom, listen, I gotta do this for everybody. Everyone wants to get to see me play. I done played 3 years at a crazy schedule where we on a road most of the time. We never really had home games like that. We played every school, and it was everyone always heard how good I was, or always heard how good I did in the game. And it was I got tired of coming around and people saying that I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm nice. Top 20 in the state, top 15. If you want to be real with you, I'm being honest. We played. It may not get back to you guys here, but up there they know. Up New Jersey, they know.
Yeah.
What time it is when we come to the door, we were the number one team in the state. You don't do that and not people don't know who you are after a while.
Word.
And so they knew, but it was just like I said, it never really like hit here. It was just like,
Mhm.
and it was like,
Well, yo, that day, and I remember because at the time I was a principal in the school.
mhm,
And the gym was crazy. It was like packed. And that was when we were in a new school.
yeah,
So it was a beautiful situation. I remember, and that was the only time because usually when I'm at games, I'm working the game because I was a principal at the time. So I'm making sure I'm supervising. But that was the one time I actually sat in the stands and watched, like just as a fan,
right.
and I'll never forget. And it's funny because I didn't even think about it that way. How you broke it down, like, because think about it, you can get your 1,000 on the road, you can get it at home. Now, getting at home is good. If you got it at Neptune, that would have been sweet.
Right.
But getting it on the road sometimes you may not even be like, I only want to get it right now because I want to get it where I get the love.
Right.
But being in Long Branch, you're like, yo, that's home number 2. So like if I get it here, it's straight.
Yeah, and it was like I said, everybody was there. People there, like I said,
Yeah,
it meant for me. I wanted y'all to be there or to experience see it. You know what I mean? I got to see it. I was happy about that.
What year was that, Terry?
What year?
Yeah, was that 2009?
2008.
2008. Okay. All right. That was 2008. Wow. Yeah, I remember that team, and y'all had a decent team. Matter of fact, my wife's cousin,
Yeah, Q.
Quentin Q. Yeah, he was on that team. Yeah, because somebody just posted somebody, I don't know, somebody just posted, it may have been you. I just saw a post of that picture, y'all team picture. And I was like,
I think it might have been the bar. I got to look at it again. I know what you're talking about. But Q on that. Q was good, man. A lot of people, my team, he kind of made us really. He took us over the top because he could come in and score a lot in the small. And it's small. Like he used to go off in his small minutes, and I used to be like, "Your Q's so nice." He was gonna be tough when he got older.
Because he was probably like a sophomore or a junior, probably on that team, right? Yeah. Sophomore, yeah. So and that was the thing about those teams, like those Neptune teams were loaded, and like you just said, people had roles. You spouted off names. It's obviously history there, and people made their names, and you made your name. And I'm happy that you got that experience where you were able to do it at the private school level, but then you were able to come back home and do it there. Now, did you ended up graduating from Neptune High School, though, right?
Yeah, graduated.
Yeah. So what I want to do, man, like as we hit this second half hour, right?
Right.
I want to talk about I eventually want to get into what you're doing now, because I see some of the people that, you've been coaching and working out, like it's crazy, yo. I'm like, do people know that? I'm like, do people realize like who dude is working with? Like, but before we hit that, talk to me, because how did you become Coach Hicks? Like, how did that happen? Explain that.
Simple, man. I was finishing up. I actually, finishing up school. Was about to graduate. And one of my really, really, really close friends, Rob Johnson, he was coaching post grad level from one of our old coaches. I played post grad at Edison Job Corps with him.
Okay.
The coaches actually that he was working for at the time, Ian Turnbull. Which is, he coached me. He was one of the coaches of the program I was part of. So he asked me for some help, man. He was just like, yo, got a lot on my plate, man. I'm right here in your backyard. Come through, help me out. I'm like, all right, cool. Like I said, I graduated. Didn't really know what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do something in basketball, though. I was leaning more toward officiating. Pat O'Connell was played on my team in the year. He's one of my good friends. He's an NBA official now. So I was kind of leaning toward there. I was talking to him about it, going through the process with him, but I ended up going, I'm going to go help my boy out. And I got there and he threw me to the fire. He was like, all right, well, I'm going to take these 4, you take these 4. and threw me off guard a little bit. I ain't gonna lie.
What am I do? Like what I do? Yeah.
So I just went back to the basics. What I would do to prepare myself for a season or work out. How I want to be worked out. And then a practice turned into another practice, turned into a week of practice, turned into I'm at the games, turned into now I got shirt and tie on. I'm assistant coach, and it still wasn't real. You know what I mean? I still was like, I like it. It's cool.
Yeah.
Again, you go back to being paid. I wasn't getting paid for that. I was volunteering. Like I said, he asked me for help. I was there. It was all good. I wasn't tripping. Like I said, I love the game. So we ended up leaving that situation. I ended up, going off and getting a job. Like I said, I really didn't. I started training a little bit, kind of lit a fire in me, but it really didn't. I really didn't believe in it because I never saw an avenue for this. Like I never knew there was, industry for, basketball trainers.
Yes.
Sports specific training, and that you can get paid and make a living off of it. I never thought about that as a full time job.
Let me stop you for 1 second on that, and we're gonna get back. It's to do with that, but I think about the dude. Is it Chris Brickley?
Yeah.
And I think he may have played at Louis. I don't know if he played at Louisville, but because he's like right now, he's like a name in terms of like what you just explained.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, and listen, I'm not all in that, but when you start thinking about there's a pathway to a career in that,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like, I just thought about him because I'm like, oh, that's kind of like, it put me in a mindset of that, like, So did you start realizing like, all right, this is, like this is something that could be a livelihood at that point? Like I can make a living doing this?
No, like I said, it wasn't until like I said, he asked me that we started coaching. He ended up moving to Memphis.
Okay,
South Memphis, by far, probably the we speak in terms of poverty and just
the highest. Yes,
people suffering.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? For real, like it's nothing to really. I know people that know Memphis.
True.
Memphis is a rough area. South Memphis is nothing to play with. So we ended up moving to South Memphis, the Coach Tennessee Prep, where I met, guy that gave me my first shot as a real coach, man. I appreciate him, love him to death. That's my man. I hope he's tuning in and watching. Harold Rayford Jr. Is my guy.
Wow.
He gave me my first shot. It was tough on me, man. Made it. I remember the interview. We had a Zoom interview phone. And he's grilling me. The other guy that I had interviewed with him and another guy. The other guy was real cool. I like him. I'm giving him the answer. I'm nervous. I'm like, this is my first time really experiencing this. And he's grilling me. Because it's his program. He's the owner. It's his first year. He's about to launch it, so it's his baby. So he's taking it serious. And he's grilling me in the interview. And I'm like, man, this dude don't like me at all.
He ain't feeling me. Yeah.
At all. But it turns out I got the job, so I get down there. And once I got down there, it was love. I learned a lot. I got to play open gym with the Memphis Grizzlies.
Wow.
Be in the arena while they play open gym, pardon me. Got to be in the arena while they play open gym. I met Mike Conley. I met the coaching staff. But I really got to see NBA offense. Right. Sure. I got to, kind of pick the NBA coaches' brains and the philosophies of just the basketball coaches, just looking at the game a different way I never looked at it. I've always looked at the game from a player standpoint. So that was the first time I was able to kind of sit back and learn, certain defenses terminology, the pack line defense, offensive schemes and what we're trying to do and just how to coordinate a practice and how to not separate from being a player and then graduating to be a coach. And it's not easy. I know they see a lot of people like Steve Nash and they think it's Jay Kidd and these guys that jump into these head coaching roles. It's not easy. I'm still in practice shooting basketball, shooting around and naturally because I have a basketball in my hand. You got to put the ball down and pick up the whistle or, do something. You got to think about everything more so than yourself. And that's it. So it was like, that was the first time I got a taste of it. And, I came home from Memphis. a little discouraging. I really didn't want to leave the Memphis situation the way that I did, and I did. I take that on the chin. Um, but again, my brother Rob Johnson, who's a really really big. He's crucial in why I am where I am today. I don't give him enough thanks. Just he gave me a path. Like I said, he was the one who got me my first NBA workout. He was the one that I was in my first NBA workout with. I assisted him. He gave me guidelines into how to coordinate your workouts and what to do, what's acceptable for an NBA guy, how to look at the game. He gave me perspective that I never really kind of saw in my realm of basketball. You know what I mean? So he was really crucial in just pulling it out of me. And like I said, he always threw me to the fire. He never like baby walk. You know how you baby step somebody.
True.
All right, you get it, you got it. All right, here it is. And it was like damn. All right, so I had to, my my first workout was with Josh Powell, played for the Lakers.
True. Yes.
I'm lucky because Josh is a really really cool dude. Off the floor, like he's a real chill personality dude. Real laid back guy. So he wasn't. He
took it easy, like it was.
He wasn't like an a-hole about things.
Yeah.
As sharp as it should have been, or as he adjusted, or you know what I'm saying. He understood that I was new, and I was a little nervous. You know what I'm saying. So that was my first workout with a pro dude, with an NBA guy, and from there. Shouts out to the Skill Factory. I got employed there through Rob Johnson. We started our post-grad program. It's one of the top programs in the country right now. Got, a ton of Division I athletes there. Got an NBA guy, Kai Soto, was just played there last year for us. He's on the NBA GT Ignite team right now. He's from the Philippines. Yeah, so he's dope. He's a 7-foot star recruit. He's ill. Kai Soto, look up to him. But man, we started the program, I believe it was 2016, man. We had 8 guys, all 8 of them, man, are close to the vest still to this day. I love all 8 of those dudes, man. They started something that can't be duplicated nowhere else. They were part of the stretch. They battled. We beat, Shea Alexander's team. He plays for the Clippers. We played Hamilton Heights, and we played those guys. We got the tallest guy, 6'8", Juan Tut. Omaha University, lefty, nice with the pill, could do whatever you want with the basketball. But he played our 5, and then we had just killers around him: Alexander Gordon, Eric, Lovett. We had Nick Fleming. All these guys are Division I athletes.
True.
And we just went at these dudes. Shea it was just a little too much for Shea that day, and his team. And they were stacked. They had footers and 6'8", 6'9". Shea 6'7", 6'6" himself. And we went at him, and that day right there after that game, it was preseason. This is one of our first tournaments, and I looked at Rob and I told him, I'm like, man, we got something special. We knew it, but it was like that day we was like, okay,
you needed that.
But one thing, about the business and about that business is like you can't get satisfied, and that's one thing I'll always give Rob Johnson the credit for. He never got satisfied. He always kept his foot on my neck to be better. He always kept his foot on his neck to be better. Even still to this day, man, I talk to him every day. Like I said, that's my best friend. And we still build on how we can affect, the kids, the youth. That's always been our main goal. And that's something that we always share from day one. It's never been about us. It's never been about, Coach Hicks or Coach Johnson. It's always about the kid and what would we do if we was in that kid's situation. We all experience bad coaches and people who affected us in a negative way, and we never want to be one of those coaches.
And Terry, I don't know. Listen, man, I'm learning a lot. Like I feel like, and sometimes, and that's the purpose of a big purpose of this podcast, Terry, is that a lot of times we don't know what's in our own backyard.
Sure.
Like we just don't know. Like I'm listening to you, and I'm like, do folks around here know like this? And when I posted that you was going to be on, I saw like there was some people that I was like, all right, good. Like there was like, that's my dude, like that. I already know what you're doing, but I'm like, sometimes, yo, people be sleeping. Like you talked earlier about like folks sleep.
Yeah,
Like,
man. I'm a low key dude though, cuz to be honest with you, I'm not really a
yeah,
that I do the social media things, you know what I mean? Some, but I'm really a low key dude. Not
yeah,
that people know that I'm even back in New Jersey. Some people
true.
might know that I'm back here just from doing this podcast. Um, so I like to keep my head down, man, and just keep working. I'm not really
Right.
big with all the politics. I've never been big with politics and talking this and doing that. I mean, I've always been taught to, you know, to buckle them up, man, and get to it. So, I mean,
Just yeah.
they'll see soon enough, man. Somebody's gonna give me the opportunity that I need to get where I need to be. But I'm actually, to be real with you, not to jump ahead. I don't know.
Go ahead, man. Go
I
ahead.
got situations going on. I got a lot of things going on here.
Okay.
I was lucky enough to get into a nice spot with Modern Day Prep. That's where I'm at
Okay.
right now.
All
Yeah,
right.
so
All
Modern,
right.
I'm there. We trying to turn it up over there. We're gonna have a
All
good year,
right.
strong year this year. They
Are
done,
you you gonna be coaching there? You
yeah,
on
yeah.
staff?
I
All
got a
right.
small role right now.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Small role, man. I'm just trying to say, I'm trying to get my feet wet. Trying to
True.
just kind of see what the short conference is about, man. They do things a lot differently than we did down in Georgia and Atlanta,
Uh-huh.
where I was at. So I'm just trying to learn and network with the right people, man. Not trying to step on nobody's toes and
Mm.
find a situation that fits me, man, and that me and them on the same page and trying to grow in the same direction.
I wanna in that, I definitely want to get into because I was gonna be like, yo, what you wanna like, do you wanna finesse this into a high school coaching job? Like where do you see yourself? But before that, Terry, this is what I want you to talk about a little bit. You talked about working out your first NBA dude, pal, right?
Yeah.
And like I want you to just to for a second, because I think that sometimes we have opportunities and we can be almost like we can get scared of our opportunities.
Oh,
Like
sure.
I know when you found out, all right, yo, you got Powell, that had to be like, all right, dude, this NBA, like there had to be something in you like, yo, am I gonna be able to do this? Like, is dude gonna be like, yo, what are you doing? Like, talk to me, because I think a lot of times we talk ourselves out of success, Terry,
Right.
and we find a way to miss opportunities. And like, I just want
Yeah.
you to
No,
talk through that. Did you feel like, yo, am I capable of doing this? Like, if you could talk through that for young coaches that may be like, am I in over my head, or how to just take it and be like, yo, I'm gonna make the most of this opportunity.
this is for young people in general.
True.
And this is something that I battle with every day. And it's funny that you even, want to even ask me about this, because this is one of my hitting points that I said I definitely wanted to speak on while I was on your show. Is
Mhm.
fear, man. Facing our fears. That's something that's the number one. If you ask any kid that I've ever coached or ever came in contact with, I always speak on that, because like you just said, that's one of the biggest things. I've lost opportunities just because of me not being confident or being fearful of the outcome. And it's nothing that you can. What is fear? If you really break it down and really think about fear, it's really something very, very small, and it's really something that you're holding yourself back from. And it's like and it was something that me and like I said, my Rob, man, he was big from a mental standpoint, because we lived together when I was in Atlanta. That was my roommate. So we'll have times where we'll sit and talk just about that, just about fears. Like, what do you, and really break it down and really sit down and really break down, like, what are you really scared of? Like,
No.
like, look at it in the face and look at it. If it's a person, go look at the person. Like, what is it?
No.
The worst that can happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, if Josh didn't like the workout, what is the worst he could do to me? Like,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? Like, what? He didn't like it. Go tell the trainer, like, oh yeah, I don't like this dude. All right, cool. Well, then he'll work out with another trainer. Like, it's okay. There's no need to be scared or fearful or get yourself so scared of something. It's like, even that's just right now, that's a lot of things. That's how I approach a lot of things. If I'm scared of it, I kind of want to face it. Let's attack it, just so I know, like,
Yes.
I can do that. You know what I mean? Like, man,
Yes.
and it's another. I went to China, man. Like,
Yeah.
I
You
was
wouldn't even talk about that. Yes.
like, I went to China for months and lived out there and ate what they ate and did what they did. My whole culture was different. Everything that I was used to and was accustomed to was upside down. Just how they you know, how they live their lives from the time. We was 13 hours ahead. You know what I mean? So it's like, imagine you getting calls in the middle of the night, and it's middle of the day, you know, when you're talking to the other person on the line. So, I mean, that right there, just getting on a plane and taking that 23-hour plane ride, sitting down there and leaving everything and just getting up and going, dude. It's almost like I could not take that opportunity. Like I call my main people, and this, you know, she's the responsible for it. I'll call my mom. I'll call her like, Mom, you know, I got this opportunity. 95% of the time, my mom's gonna tell me to do it.
Yo. She just go like, yo, make it happen. Like make
it happen. Don't worry about it. Do it. Like when I told her about China, I didn't even get the whole situation out before she was like, do it. What you waiting for? What you asking me for? You know, and it was like that right there was all I needed. It was like, all right, cool. You know, I know my mom's always, if she got my back with it, you know what I mean? It don't matter what else. I'm cool. As long as she give me the go, like you good. All right, I'm good.
That
can be a lot of situations.
Terry, man, like, all right, and this little cuz, like, shout out to little cuz on the show, because I'm just thinking like, this is little cuz, like, you speaking so much truth, fam, and the chat is like going crazy, like a lot what you're saying is resonating. It's resonating with them, fam, because that fear thing, and that's why I want to go back to that, because I'm like, he just glossed over that, like, I had the NBA, I was working on the NBA dude. I'm thinking about my first varsity girls basketball practice, and I'm like, is this gonna be right? Like, are they gonna be like? So I'm like, imagine like stepping it up to like a WNBA practice or an NBA workout. Like, I know that there had to be some doubt creeping in, because let's be real, like, we had those doubts. But I like how you framed it, like, I'm facing my fears. That, because, and it's funny because with my son, I try to teach him the same thing in terms of like, all right, whatever you're most afraid of, run to that thing. Like whatever it is, because once you take that off the table, anything is possible.
Something good is gonna happen.
True.
You're gonna happen.
Anything is possible.
You attack something you're scared of, more than likely something good is gonna happen. After that workout, I did that. I was able, and mind you, I didn't do that workout by myself. That wasn't my first workout by myself. I believe my first NBA guy workout by myself was John Jenkins, who played for he played for Vanderbilt. He got drafted. He was playing for the Knicks at one point. I think he's still playing there. And John was, again, another laid back dude, real chill. Luckily he just wanted to get shots up, and I'm good. You want to shoot? I got some shoot. I was a little excited about that, but I was, like I said, like, I was nervous, but I was cool, man. Like I said, it's basketball at the end of the day. The only thing that really used to make me nervous was the simple fact, like, I never played pro. So am I competent enough to be able to tell this guy who's making millions what he's doing wrong and how to correct it and what to work on and what he needs to do? That's where the lack of confidence really came in for me. Am I, what if he says something that I don't even know? Or what if I'm telling him something that's totally wrong and I don't know that's totally wrong? My lack of experience. So what I had to do and what I learned, and I picked it up from like the Skill Factory, man, TSF. If anybody has some time, go look at the website. If you are in Atlanta, look up when they have one of their pro runs. Please go see that, because that type of experience will change your life. It changed my life and how I see NBA guys, how I see the game of basketball. It taught me so much from a coaching standpoint, from training, how to carry myself as a professional, how to talk to media, how to recruit kids, how to organize in certain situations. Man, that's why I'm so confident when I come here, and I know certain people who talk to me, it might come off a little cocky or whatever, but I'm cocky, bro. I'm just so prepared, because the preparation I had to go through to get to this point about, being thrown in, we had to work. I do pre-draft workouts. So pre-draft workouts is where you preparing guys for the biggest workout of their lives, their
Sure.
NBA workout. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I know Jalen LeCue, he's the local guy. He's from New York.
Yeah.
We got
Yeah.
big name guy, kind of famous.
Yep.
We did his pre-draft workout, and we had one-on-one individual workout with this kid, and getting him to the point where he's ready to make an NBA roster. You know what I'm
Yo.
saying? Like that's a
Yeah.
lot. That was a lot, and we got to make sure. And this, you got to be fresh because I'm in. Our staff is phenomenal. We got guys who played 20 years pro out of the country. We got guys who are on NBA staffs right now, literally like have NBA jobs, but they come back in the summertime and they help train, and they got their clients that they work out. You know, we got just everybody. So it's like you got to pull your weight, man. If your drills wasn't up to par, it's going to show. No one's gonna have to tell you. It's gonna.
And Terry, yo, that it's funny that you talked about drills, right? Because one of the things when I first started coaching, and I remember you mentioned taekwondo, and I remember running in because I used to play the same way. You know, you talked about Joe used to play at the Y. Like I played at the Y for years. And taekwondo, when I first met taekwondo, he was probably like in 8th grade. He was in Red Bank. Right. And he was at the Y always working out. It was him, and matter of fact, Taj Holden, right? Yep. So they always was at the Y, right? So I've developed a relationship with both of them there. So long story short, when Taekwondo was at Neptune, and I would watch him play, and I remember, you know, I had talked to him, and I was like, "Yo, hit me up with some of Patino's drills, right?" Because this is when he ended up in Louisville, and he was able to like hook me up with certain drills or whatever. And I would call them the name. Like I would use, like it was one drill I used called Louisville, one drill I called Cardinal. And my girls to this day, like, and this is going back to me coaching like in 2000, right? I still like one of the Louisville drills. Cause Patino, if you know Patino, he was heavy into conditioning. Like that was like heavy for him. Like that was like his thing. And that's what Taekwondo, he was like, yo, this dude with conditioning, like you would, like he took it out on everybody. Like the assistant coaches had to do it. Like everybody had to be conditioned, right? And he had broke down some of the conditioning drills. And when I brought those drills back to my girls, yo, they was hurting. And we called them Louisvilles. And to this day, if I want to, like on social media, if I see them saying something, I'm like, yo, that's foul. I'll just be like, yo, run a Louisville. And they hit me back like, no, like, it's like, it was that crazy. But when you talk about drills and you talk about like building, you know, kind of like, yo, it's like a catalog you're building, you know, in terms of as a coach, you know, in that skills factory and how you use that to build your whole catalog. Yo, that's powerful. And it's the skills factory, right? I want to make sure I got it right.
Yeah.
It's TSF?
The skill factory, TSF. True. Yeah.
Wow.
But wow. Yeah, man, that is definitely
that's definitely yo, Terry, man, you on another level, fam.
Man, I'm being me, man. You know, I'm trying to get better every day, man. Just trying to get better, trying to, you know, just figure everything out, man. And like I said, just taking it one step at a time, trying to find my way out here now that I'm back in Jersey. I want to do a lot of things for the community, man. A lot of one person, like I said, I want to do something for. I'm in the works of it right now. Joey Reigns, man, let him rest in peace.
Yes.
That's somebody who was really, really, really big in my life, man.
Yes.
You know, he was huge for me coming up. Somebody, inspirations, man. I didn't even get to mention him. He was just another level, man. Another level of a person,
good dude, man.
Basketball player. So rest in peace to my man, to Joey. Shouts out to him. But I definitely want to do something in his name. So I'm working on that. I just got his nephew, Amari. I just got him I train him. I work with him.
Wow.
He's really good. He's gonna be good. He's about 6'6", can handle it, can throw it down. We're working on his body. He's at Covenant College Prep right now, doing his prep year. He's gonna be about 2 years. Give him 2 years, he'll be all right.
You'll be hearing about him. That's what's up.
For sure, definitely. A couple of guys, man. There's a couple of young dudes I'm working with from the area. Like I said, I made it my duty when I started coaching and training and really started taking it serious that I wanted to come back home and really because we talented, man. We got a lot of dudes, man. We got guys. We got guys. Especially Phil Wheeler, for one, man. He's a kid. He's on his way.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Hold on. We got to spend some time on that, Terry. I don't know how much time you got. We got a late start. I know. But yo, all right, check it, right? First of all, shout out to, and if I say Phil Wheeler Sr., that's even another level. And RIP to Phil Wheeler Sr. because his dad died. But the Phil Wheeler I grew up with, you know, was like crazy. Like, yo, he was a couple years ahead of you, but you working with his son now. But like he was like on another level from way back. He was, matter of fact, the back-to-back state championships that Long Branch had, where they were TOC Final Four. I think it was like 98, 99. He was on those teams. He was on the first team, I think. I don't know if he was on the second team. I'm
learning a lot about y'all history around Long Branch basketball. I'm learning a lot. There's a lot of people being home, man, in the community around. Yeah, I'm learning a lot. You got a lot of history with that. I didn't know that.
We up there too. I know Neptune got their junk, but Long Branch up there, fam. Like,
yeah, I did not know that. I may have some down years when I was coming up, but when I was, you know what I mean? I definitely know that. I know his grandfather was really good though. I think people don't
know. Clint Wheeler. That's what I'm saying. So, first of all, like, shout out to Phil Wheel, like, I'm talking about my contemporary. He was like 2 years. I think he graduated in 96. Somebody put 97 in there. It may have been 97. Now you may be right. But another level, right? Like he was the young head that would play with us. Like how you explained, like I was playing with the older, that was him. And now you're with his son. And it's crazy because I was looking at your social media and I saw you were working him out. And I'm like, damn, I remember that the Phil you were working out. When I was a principal in Long Branch at elementary, he was a student. He was like maybe in third grade, maybe second grade. And I'm looking at him now like, he's crazy. Like his skill set is nuts.
His ceiling is so high, man. I'm in that kid's corner so much because he worked so hard and he had to go through so much at a young age. And people don't even understand his story. They may get one side of it. I don't know. That kid right there is good, man. He's gonna have a lot of success at the next level. He's a hard worker, and like I say, he's a really good kid. Like off the floor, you know what I mean. Phil is a really good kid. You know what I mean. He listens. You know what I mean. He works hard, and he did his thing in Puerto Rico, man. I don't know if
national,
doing his thing, man. I was impressed. You know, he had to shoot the basketball, which a lot of people really don't know. They just think he's a leaper, he's a jumper. The kid can shoot. He can shoot the ball. Man. You know what I mean? He's working on his handle, but he can shoot the basketball at an NBA level. I mean, I sent this film out to some people, some scouts, man, that I know that watched the game, and and when I told them that he was 18 years old, they come. Just need 2 years, man. He'll be okay.
And he'd be because it's in those genes. It's just I'm not surprised, and I saw that. I was like, he's working with Phil. Like I didn't know you were working with him, little Phil. And I'm like, that's so dope. Like that's, especially with your connection to Long Branch, to be able to like work with a young head from Long Branch.
People don't, like I said, I hope it gets better now that they understand the connection. A lot of people do not understand my tie to Long Branch and my family. Who's my family in Long Branch? Bro, listen, I'm all from Long Branch, man. Like my whole family's from there. I got a lot of relatives that live there and that's in the community. That's thing. So
word, bro.
But that kid Phil Wheeler is bad.
It is Terry, man. I'm blown away, man, and I'm super, I stopped using the word proud. I'm just inspired, like a lot of what you shared tonight, I'm just inspired by, man. And I'm happy that is young folks like you out there doing this kind of work and putting in this kind of work, man, because you changing lives, you changing lives.
The goal, man. That's the goal.
Yeah.
I just, like I said, man, my goal with everything is to inspire the youth. You know what I mean? I was always taught, you know, what makes us dangerous as black men is if we're disciplined. You know what I mean? You gotta be disciplined. You know what I mean? So I try to instill that in the people that I touch and I connect with, and to be fearful, man. Be fearful. There's
Yes.
nothing to be scared of. There's nothing
Yes.
out here. You know, every death is promised. Ain't no way around it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
Yes.
there ain't nothing else to be scared of. You know what I'm saying? So to me,
So true.
we gotta, you know, keep pushing and keep inspiring each other. Like, I'm glad I can inspire you. You inspire me. Like I said, I didn't know that you even had this type of platform. You know, keep going. Like I said, I went and did my thing on YouTube, was following. I'm like, man, you got a nice following.
Yeah.
You got a lot. So I'm happy and I'm honored to be on here, and I appreciate you and appreciate your time.
No doubt, because what a great way to end the first season. And just so folks out there know, like what I'm doing is I'm gonna take this first season, Terry, so you know, and I'm working on putting it together a brochure, right? So it'll have your profile picture, your bio, your contact information, and then I'm gonna shop that around to the county, to the state, and be like, when y'all looking for guest speakers to speak to young kids about X, Y, and Z, whatever way y'all fit in, these are the folks you need to reach out to. So you know what I'm saying? Like this, because this is when you started off the show talking about making sure that school was relevant. These are the kind of stories that young kids need to hear, because when they hear these stories, they start identifying, understanding that what my dreams are, those are reality. Like I can reach those dreams. You know what I'm saying? Like, and because Coach Hicks did it. And then I can reach out to these people and get advice, so it's all about building community. And that's what my focus is like, how do we build community and how do we create as many lifelines to young people as possible? And I see you as being one of those lifelines. So I just want to salute you, because like I'm blown. I was already proud of you and inspired by you, but I'm super blown away. I'm like, this is little cuz. Like, fam. Shout out to Aunt Debbie. Aunt Deb,
A big
if you
shout
listen to your pops. Like, if y'all listening, y'all did y'all thing. Word up. Salute.
Just to tap in on something too, cuz I like I said, I did my homework on your show. I remember you had one of your previous guests you had on there, and y'all spoke on he's from Long Branch. I forget it.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the educators you had on here not the last episode, but the episode prior to that. And you guys were just speaking on just relating, how, and he made a good point, and I kind of wanted to touch on that. Like, like you said, I'm a coach, I'm a teacher at the end of the day. Y'all, like, we're responsible for that. And like, he made a good point by saying, man, it is our job to relate to these kids. A lot of these people in these positions, these powerful positions, don't feel that way. Don't have that mindset where they feel like the kid has to, get to them. Like, no, dude, we're here for them. At the end of the day, we're here because of them. It's our job to relate. So if you got to listen to a Little Uzi album just to relate to that's causing a problem in your school, that's what you got to do. You know what I mean? If you got to go on YouTube and look at one of these silly shows or whatever they're into, if you got to pull a kid to the side and, hey man, what are they into? Or ask the kid, what are you into, man? Let's find a meeting point. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was really, really important, for older people to understand, and myself and people older than me, man, we got to make that effort. We can't put it on them. We have to, as adults and as people that gotta want it for them. You know what I mean? How many times I wanted more than certain kids in the beginning of a season, and by the end of the season, it's they may want it a little bit more than me.
More to you.
They have to understand it. I didn't understand it. I had people that, like I said, like Joey Raines, Dave Johnson. These are people that took the time to show me and allow me to make the mistakes and come back to them like, look, all right, you get it now? This is what I was talking about. So we got to have more of those type of people involved with our youth, especially the at-risk youth, the people that need us the most, and that's
true.
I'm trying to tap into the nonprofit, sector of things, and figure things out. So anybody that's watching this that may have some information for me on that regard, man, please reach out. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Yo, Terry, you see, you just we definitely gonna have to have episode 2, like, because what you just got into, in finding that common ground, as my sister Sharad just pointed out, or kind of like making sure that you do your work as an educator in terms of connecting with youth, because if you don't have that connection, all else is lost.
For sure.
It's lost.
Yeah.
It's lost, fam, because that's their world. And in order for you to be relevant, you got to look deep into that world. Like my daughter, she's a 7th grader. My son is a 5th grader. Yo, we got Tidal. I want to know their playlists, because now I know, like, I got an entry point. Like, now I got an entry point. So now I know, all right, whatever I gotta, like, all right, yo, King Von, like, all right, that's important to them. That's important to all right, I need to know. Like, yo, I need to know. Like, so it's like, it's so important.
You gotta
so important, Terry, tapping in. It is.
Can't go over your head because you owe them real life going. That's real life to them. That's what they see on their phone.
True.
That's what their friends or their kids are talking about. Is that so? It's, man, I need what happened? What happened to King Von?
Yo,
how'd that happen? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I saw, and this is why you got to stop doing A, B, and C.
Exactly.
What that life brings. You know what I mean? They gotta understand that it's different. You can like it and take it for what it is, though. You know what I mean?
But yes, exactly. There you go. But it can't, it doesn't mean it has to be your lifestyle. But it's something you appreciate, you respect, but it doesn't have to be your lifestyle. And it starts conversations, Terry, because now I can have conversations about that, and I can have conversations about wrong place, wrong time. I can have conversations about the energy that you have around you. I can have conversations about your peer group, like, because all of these things are entry points into deeper conversations. But as parents, if we just miss that and be like, that's them young kids, they, and I'm gonna bring it full circle for you. Your mom, that's what she was for us. She was that. And like Cousin Sport is on the chat, and I'm like, that's what she was for us. So she was that connecting piece to us, and she was able to, like, kind of identify with us and understand who we were, because she was so close to our age, but then she was also, like, interested in the things that we were interested in, and that, it was nothing like having that. And we always got excited when she came around for that reason, so, it kind of brings it full circle, man. And I just remember, my granddad, your great, like, coming, driving us back and forth to Asbury, picking up your mom, and our relationship. And it was so close and it was so tight, and, it's a salute. Definitely a salute to our family, yo. Definitely a salute to the family. I'm just, what a way to end the season. I'm blown away, because I'm really I knew you was gonna bring it, but I'm impressed, fam.
Appreciate you, guys.
Word up. I'm impressed. Keep doing. Yeah, I was like, hold up. Aunt Deb, are you out there? She just, I don't know if you can see the comments, but she just said love you. But, like, yo, real talk, we love you, Auntie. Definitely is all love. What I want to do is, I don't want to do it, but I want to start to close out. So what I want to ask you, though, is one of the things that I always like to ask the guests is, like, yo, if you can go back, and you said so much, but if you can go back and say to your high school self, to you as a high school student athlete, what advice would you give yourself now? Because some young heads may be listening in, and we want to make sure we give them some advice that, looking back, things you've learned, that I would give my younger self. What would that advice be?
Um, the first thing I would tell them is it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Mm,
So walk before you run.
true.
Enjoy every moment of your process. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy that. Live in it. Work harder. You know what I mean? Work hard. And then the other thing I would say is just face your fears, man. I would tell myself, don't be fearless. Be fearless. Believe in yourself, and really, really cherish the people that you come across in your journey, because you don't realize the effect that they have on you.
Mm,
From adults to your peers, you don't realize the effect that your coaches have, or the effect that your teammates may have on you, or that conversation that it may have on you. It may spark something in you that may stick with you for the rest of your life. So I will always say appreciate your relationships that you make with people throughout your journey. Be fearless, and remember, it's definitely not a sprint. It's definitely a marathon.
yo, I love it all, cuz
Yeah,
you blessed us. It's not a sprint. Sometimes I get caught up in that.
yeah,
I lose focus on because I want to get to where I gotta go. And I forget that it is a marathon. Shout out to rest in peace, Nipsey.
yeah.
That marathon piece, that's so important, man. That and understanding that your life, and that's what I love about your story, Terry, is that it can take different paths. Like, your story with going from private to public to, like back to public to, like it's not always a straight line. We get caught up in this straight line of success. Like you just got to go from here to here and then you're successful.
Right. Nah, I love
But that winding road is real. Like it's real, man. You know that.
Boy, man. Everybody built for their path. That's what we got to
Yes,
believe in. Just believe you
yes,
built for it. You know what I'm saying?
yes.
That's what I
Agreed.
believe. I believe I'm built
Agreed.
for it, and everything gonna work out for the best. I appreciate you, cousin, man. This is
No
a
doubt.
great, great platform, man. Great platform. What you're doing is awesome. I respect you. I love you. I appreciate you. Shouts out to the
Yo,
family. I know everybody that's
yes.
watching the
They
sport.
joined in, yo.
Love you, man. I know you're in there watching. Everybody, what I mean? We need to
Yo,
get together soon. And just,
word up. We
yeah,
do. We
definitely, I
do.
gotta see your brother, man. I gotta see your
You
brother.
got to catch up with Corey?
Yeah, he gonna kill me. I gotta see it. I gotta go. I gotta call. Probably should call him right after this.
Yo, hit him up. I need to check in on bro too. I haven't checked in on him in a minute.
Yeah,
But yo, definitely, cause that piece about connecting, we need to do that more. Word up. I think all families, we all become guilty of that, but we definitely need to connect more. And maybe this could be the start of that, because this
yeah.
you have folk come out, bro.
I take the lead on it for sure.
Yo, real talk.
Maybe I
And
know I gotta.
it's funny because the last time that I remember we were going to have a connection, your mom was setting something up, but it got railroaded. I don't know if it was weather. It was something that came up. We were all supposed to meet somewhere.
Yeah, I was it was when I was going to China.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I got stuck in the airport.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
walked to Atlanta's airport, and I was supposed to come home, and I missed my flight. I was in the
Yeah.
airport. I didn't catch my flight to the next day, and everything got spoiled. I was so upset. I definitely wanted to share that. Like I said, I wanted to share that with y'all. Like I
Yeah.
wanted to find some
Yeah.
love, some family, some familiar faces that I definitely haven't seen in a while. So
I remember that.
yeah,
I was thinking, when you just said that, it made me think of that. Like, I remember that. Yeah, we was all supposed to meet and together and have dinner, and enjoy each other's company. And it was on the strength of you,
yeah,
yeah, I remember that. But then something came up and we had to cancel. But this is my toughest show to close, fam.
yeah, man.
This was
Tough,
tough.
man. It's more tough, man. It's definitely
This,
over.
yo,
I
you
like
got the belt.
the thing, man. It's a nice little.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like we're gonna be connecting more. Whatever it's gonna be, we're gonna connect and we're gonna get together and do some things. You keep doing your thing though. Keep on that grind that you've been about. And I'm just gonna keep loving on you. The love is real. I love you, fam.
Always
Um,
you guys.
and doing what you're doing. So shout out, everybody who joined in tonight. Special shout out. And it's a lot of love in the community tonight. My family came out, our family, should I say.
Yeah.
Our family, salute to y'all. I saw all y'all in the chat. Wise, I saw you in the chat. Sport, you've been in there hanging tough, Aunt Deb, we love you. Uncle Ray, shout out to Uncle Ray.
Sugar Ray.
It's family, this family thing is serious, man. So the Purpose in Practice podcast, episode number 25, the end of season number 1, and how appropriate that we ended, with my cousin, who I am extremely inspired by, Coach Terry Hicks. You're gonna be doing great things. Continue to do those great things, fam. True. Look out for him. Y'all short conference, athletic directors out there. I got one. I'm gonna be texting right after this, like, this is my little cousin. I got a few. I'm gonna be texting like, this is my little cousin. Keep shout out to Tori. We can't forget about Tori. Shout out to Tori. We definitely, Joe, we gave you your props, fam, but shout out to Tori as well. But I'm gonna be letting them know about you, fam, because you're doing great things, and we want to keep making sure that you're in those you get the blessings that you deserve, because you getting those blessings means young people are getting those blessings, and that's what it's all about, is continuing and continuing. So with that said, we are signing out for the last time. The next time we come to you, we're going to have a different season on the podcast. We're going to have a different intro. We're going to have a different everything. Like, we come in different. And it's going to be live, and we're really looking forward to it. So thank you all for tuning in. It's love, it's respect out there. Those of you who celebrate the upcoming holiday, please enjoy that celebration. Spend some time with your family and relax and be safe. Peace out. Cuz I love you.
Love you too, cousin. Easy.
It's a 9-chord banger. Dr. Ross dropping knowledge to the masses. Man, you now tuned in to Purpose and Practice. Purpose and practice. Keep your mental sharp. Learn all the tactics. Dr. Ross dropping knowledge to the masses. Man, you now tuned in to Purpose and Practice. Purpose and Practice. Podcast game.